Hello folks and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host Joe to Love. Here I want to talk about Wrestledream for AEW, which happened on Saturday. Yes, it happened on Saturday, so a little late than I wanted to be, but nonetheless things happen. Of course, gotta get the review up at least before Dynamite, so nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed Wrestledream. But I'm here to give my thoughts on it and takes. But for now, nonetheless, thank you guys all for joining me to end the podcast. If you guys want to, of course, if you guys are new, like, subscribe, hit that subscription down in the corner, and you can find all my videos and stuff there in the subscription and the notification bell as well. So, nonetheless, thank you. And before I begin, we just want to say thank you all. Thank you guys very much, as finally hit over 100 subscribers. So, nonetheless, just want to give a big shout. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for contributing, whether you're a subscriber or not. Those contributing really help. Whether it's likes, views, comments, whatever it is. Whether you're commenting good or bad. If I don't agree with comment, nonetheless I appreciate that you're interested. So, for that, even if you turn to my video and you don't like it, so thank you, because at least that's some form of criticism or feedback which I can attribute to. So just want to say thank you to all that have contributed. So yes. So let's talk Wrestledream for a bit, shall we? So, AEW Wrestledream. I thought I had a number of good moments for Wrestledream. From the start of the card, we had Jay White, Hangman Page, which was a hell of an opener. The main event, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship. Now, we had obviously some matches where didn't feel like it needed to be on the show, but nonetheless, my perception around Wrestledream was very unique and interesting. So first, let's talk about Jay White and Hangman Page. So Jay White returned last week. He obviously attacked Hangman Page when Hangman tried to literally hang Juice Robinson over the top rope with his belt, but Jay White helped put a stop to that with a big attack, which ultimately led him to sending Page to a table in the stands, or near the stands. So that was a hell of a Raw, and we know Jay White has a reason to go after Hangman, because Hangman was Jay White's last match and injured him in the Allin Hart Cup tournament. So, and with Hangman attacking the Bang Bang Gang, or Bullet Club Gold, whichever you want to call it, add more fuel to the fire. So we got this match, which I get if people say it was hot shotted But this was a big match, nonetheless. Jay White, Hangman Page, two of the guys that should be atop of the card for the world title situation or conversation, because Hangman has been doing arguably the best work of his career with his heel run. It's just been great since he's returned. Jay White, he's only been back a handful of weeks or a handful of time, but from what we can quickly assume, it's great because it seems like he's being pushed upwards on the card into that main event scene, which he should be, instead of hovering around the trios division. So we got this match here, this opening match. It was a hell of a match. One spot which was brutal to look at was when they were fighting around the stage and Jay White, he targeted the knee and lower leg of Hangman throughout the match, which very skilled and very much played a role into the finish. But the one spot I mentioned when they were fighting around the stage, Jay White did a shin breaker or a knee breaker to Hangman, dropping him on the stage, which looked brutal, and had to have sucked, but Hangman sold it very well. And then we got the finish match, which popped everyone, and what a reaction. It was fun to see. So, one of the best counters I've seen. So, going back to the leg, Hangman went for the buckshot lariat, but couldn't get everything he wanted on rotation and the flip, whatever you want to say. So, he wound up getting caught by Jay White, who delivered a beautiful Blade Runner off the counter and then popped the crowd hugely, and Jay White pinned Hangman Page 1, 2, 3. Now, Hangman's first match, Hangman, I wasn't so sure about him losing, obviously, right now, especially coming out of All Out, when he had a devastating steel cage match for Swerve. And then him losing too, but I get it. Jay White's first big match back, and if you want to start the run of him being credible in the main event scene, you don't want him losing his first big match back. And that's what we got here. Jay White versus Hangman. Jay White pulled out. So great for him. Then next up, we had the Glamour Mariah May, who, first of all, this felt needed. She had to have a tremendous match here because, let's be honest, her run has felt lackluster. Not necessarily because of her, it's just a fact. Since the blow-off to her and Tony Storm at Allin, it's not felt like you should. It's like she hasn't felt as important, which is an issue. But we got this match very good with Willow. And in the end, the situation clunky because again, Statlander beat Willow at All Out in that street fight. Statlander's now a babyface again, going after the TBS Championship. Wow, Willow is going after the Women's World Championship. So then, but match was very solid for the win, very good. A weird spot though was the Miz room, which felt odd. So Tony Schiavone was manning the Miz room instead of Tony Khan. So of course they said Tony Khan went to the hospital with Bryan Danielson. But in hindsight, if you follow football, you knew at the time, well, Tony Khan, the Jacksonville Jaguars have an early game in London Sunday morning. So it's like travel and whatnot, he had to do what he had to do. So Tony Schiavone, I love Tony Schiavone. I'm glad to hear that he said he's going to stay on for another 4 to 5 years based on the new deal. But the weird thing at the press conference was Mariah May, she was there. And they opened up for questions for her. And it was like dead. Like, only one person wanted to ask her a question. It's odd. It's like Mariah May, the Women's World Champion. It's like, excuse me, if you're a journalist in there, it's like a room full of people. You can ask one question. It's like about possible new challengers, about maybe Jamie Hayter, about Statlander, about Mercedes. I mean, again, it's like, it was odd. So, yeah, it was an awkward moment, but yeah, weird. TNT Championship match, Jack Perry versus Katsuyori Shibata. The big thing was the aftermath, though. So, the finish match was odd. So, Shibata had a rear naked choke on Jack Perry. And he had it cinched in. And then Jack Perry just bridged up and wound up pinning Shibata just like that with his shoulders on the ground. Crowd was pissed. I mean, if you want to have Jack Perry as a crep, but at the same time, again, that's how he fits, a slimy heel on the roster. But I'm just saying, if you want to add credibility to his run, he could have won so much better against Shibata. I mean, Shibata, all due respect, but they've barely done shit with him on his main run. So it's like, yeah. What will happen next, I kind of figured. With Daniel Garcia talking about gold, and then him hugging Anna Jay and Shibata on Wednesday. I mean, this only made sense as Daniel Garcia went out and got in Jack Perry's face. So right there we can see, and Jack Perry fled the scene of the ring. Then all of a sudden we hear MJF's music hit. MJF waltzed onto the ring, shaven, Mr. Happy Gilmore's son. He was out there, and Jack Perry took a cheap shot with the TNT title, blindsiding Garcia, which gave, MJF the advantage. So right away, makes sense, because Daniel Garcia going after Jack Perry is a hell of a program I can get behind for the TNT title. So MJF talked about a bidding war for Daniel Garcia, which was as credible in 2024 or as real as the Seattle Supersonics, which in Tacoma, it riled them up, certainly. And he talked about Daniel Garcia pawning his ring in Buffalo. Well, said he was able to find it, which in due time wouldn't surprise me with the new deal. Tony Khan was able to make him a new ring. So MJF said that Daniel Garcia was going to kiss it. So right as MJF put on the ring, he kissed it, and then like a spark, like how the song is, the name of the song, All About the Boom. Well, we heard a boom in the sense of Adam Cole's music playing, and then the crowd just, was electric for his return. And Adam Cole as a babyface again. And MJF was shook. He didn't know what to expect, because the last time we saw these two interact was Double or Nothing, when Adam Cole was dropped with a brainbuster by MJF, the returning MJF, which swept him under the rug, and MJF was mocking Cole, limping to the ring, but Adam Cole sprinted to the ring. So it's pretty safe to say Adam Cole's cleared, which thank all of the above that Adam Cole is finally cleared again. It's been a year, and feels like the Undisputed Kingdom is on the way. Look, I'll be honest, I was thrilled and I was excited about the Undisputed Kingdom because number of parameters, I like Taven and Bennett as a tag team, but going after the Ring of Honor titles instead of the AEW titles doesn't help your credibility as much. Roddy, he's hilarious and a great wrestler, but didn't really give much thought to him. Wardlow, nothing really changed. It's like last I heard, Matt Taven said that Wardlow was out with another injury. So it's like, again, and Adam Cole, his injury really messed things up. His and MJF's really affected things, but seems like we're sweeping that in the rug. Cole's a babyface, MJF's a heel. Of course, last time we saw these two, the roles were reversed, but in a sense, it makes sense because MJF was the one that attacked Adam Cole the last time. And Adam Cole got injured for helping MJF. So, in a sense, it makes sense. I understand that people don't understand it. Why the roles are reversed. But, in a way, I feel this better. MJF, natural habitat as a heel. Adam Cole, he can play both ways. Yes, I think he's better as a heel, but I'd rather have Adam Cole as the babyface and MJF as a heel than likewise. So yeah, Cole went down, MJF fled. Now we got that. Adam Cole and Daniel Garcia, they showed their respects in the ring. So there was that as well. But yeah, great to have Cole healthy and MJF back. The star of the show, the match of the night, whatever you want to say. Willow, Ospreay, Konosuke, Takeshita, Ricochet. Match of the night, sold the show. I get it. Some selling points in this match made you shake your head. But other than that, was a hell of a match, as you expect with these three. And I was wondering about the finish. I think we are. But I'm glad they went this way. As Don Callis was about to get a Tiger Driver from Will Ospreay. And then all of a sudden we see a hooded individual with a screwdriver. And I get it if people say it's lame, for him to be hooded, but at the same time, if he was just there with a screwdriver, would have give him away more, obviously. And what made Ospreay look more like an idiot. But Kyle Fletcher, Ospreay's best friend, or Kyle Fletcher's best friend, he attacked him with a screwdriver, and in fact allowing Konosuke Takeshita to pick up the scraps and win his first title in AEW. Which is great. So, Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay. You got that feud broiling. It's been for some time because we know how good Ospreay is. Kyle Fletcher, we see him have great matches. Again, he's only 25. We know he can go at it. But a big feud, something, can really push him over the top. And who better than Ospreay to keep this dynamic going? And great for Takeshita. You know, for the last couple of years, we've seen him put on great matches. And he has an aura about him. But we haven't really seen him push to a certain level. And it's like last year, at All In and All Out, he pinned Kenny Omega at All In, and then had a great match in which he beat Kenny at All Out. So it's like, and then he beat Darby, and it's like, where does that momentum go? Well, now he has his first title in AEW, and I'm happy for him. This is good because obviously he can build towards another Ricochet and Ospreay match down the line. And Ricochet, you know, he just got there. It's going to be a bit before he gets his first title, Crack the Gold, or first title in AEW. So great stuff. And it only adds more heat to Don Callis. Which Lance Archer being there, great stuff. Prince Nana, Shelton Benjamin, MVP, and Swerve. The return of Swerve Strickland. So, people are expecting Bobby Lashley. I think it's safe to say. And I bet we're going to get him. Just we didn't get him Saturday. As Swerve Strickland turned down the services of MVP. And we know it seems like, it just feels like a feud between Swerve and Bobby Lashley is on the horizon. That's great stuff. Shelton Benjamin apparently will have his first match on Dynamite on Wednesday. Cannot wait. See him for Leo Rush. It's great to see. Now, this was the start of matches that per se didn't need to be on the card. Darby Allin versus Brody King. I love Darby. I love Brody King. But you give Darby an open challenge, and then we find out on Wednesday, you know, it's going to be, or last week on Collision, it's going to be these two. They have a little segment on Wednesday, which I thought was good, but kind of felt like it was being thrown out at the last minute. And yeah. Young Bucks vs. Private Party. The Bucks have definitely defended the titles more as of late, which is good. Private Party, you love, because again, they're really young, but they haven't had solid push behind them. And it feels like they're kind of building a sympathy thing, if at all, with Private Party. The thing with Stokely Hathaway on Wednesday, you wonder if there's much merit to that. So we'll see. Mark Briscoe versus Chris Jericho. I love Mark Briscoe. I love Chris Jericho. You know, great to see Mark Briscoe anytime on television. Chris Jericho, you know, the Soaring Tree gimmick, trying to stay on TV, trying to be relevant. You know, he invoked the name of Jay Briscoe to make this personal with Mark. I mean, relatively this felt last minute as well. Mark Briscoe wins and retains the Ring of Honor World title. But, yeah. You get my point. And then the main event. Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship. Like I said on a clip about the ending, this kind of felt as emotional, if not more emotional, as Allin, because, you know, it was such a feel-good ending at Allin, you know, with Bryan being there, winning the world title from Swerve, you know, at Wembley. You know, he came out to Final Countdown. Brody was there. Brody was there. You know, it's like his son and daughter were there. And it was such a feel-good moment. You know, Blackpool Comic Club minus Moxley was there for obvious reasons. And it was such a feel-good moment. Then you transition to here. And it's like Bryan said, when he loses the world title, his full-time career then will be over. So, you had in the back of your mind, okay, Christian has this world title opportunity. Jon Moxley, of course, this, you know, stories in game. Track 2. So, finish the match. So Jon Moxley choked out Bryan Danielson with a rear naked choke. Bryan passed out. And then not only that, so we get attacked by the BCC, and then we get a number of big faces rolling out for the save. You got, you know, Darby, Orange Cassidy, Adam Cole, etc. Private party, all out there for a save. And Willow Yuta. That's why I say and Willow Yuta. We know he's been conflicted. He's not been, at least it seems, he's not been on the side of the Blackpool Comic Club. And then he attacks Darby Allin. Not only that, he does the same spot Moxley did to him, or did to Bryan, at All Out. Put a plastic bag over Bryan's head, and officials obviously broke up, but Darby and Orange Cassidy just looked defeated that they were there ringside, particularly Darby, and he wasn't there to help Bryan. Now, Yuta does seem on the side of the BCC, but he and Claudio, Yuta didn't seem like he was fully happy with his actions. So there's still a bit of tension between him, Claudio, Pac, and Moxley. Where they go forward from that, because they put the world title in a black bag. So I'm just curious where they go from here. But it was a somber, sad ending, which in a way does feel relieving, because not every pay-per-view has to go on a high note. I mean, it's like that big steel cage match between Hangman and Swerve at All Out. Now we get here some odd endings, which is a little relieving to see. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Wrestledream, whatnot. So on Wednesday, we got Jay White versus Christian Cage. We got, that's a hell of a match, but interesting. We got Adam Cole gonna have a promo. Sean Benjamin, like I said, will face Leo Rush. John Moxley, we'll hear from him. I mean, it's gonna be an intriguing Dynamite, I'd say. But nonetheless, those are my thoughts on Wrestledream. Again, if you guys are new, if you want to subscribe, please do so. That's the thing in the corner. And if you guys like this video, sorry about that, but be sure to leave a like and a thumbs up. Helps out the video, helps out me. Again, thank you guys all for your support and whatnot. Let's continue to go forward. So thank you guys. See you guys next time for Dynamite this Thursday. Peace.